What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. We're back with another video, and I am currently in the middle of the swamp. So I'm hiking out to a spring. One of the maps that I use tells me that there's one spring out here. Another map that I use tells me that there's up to 5 springs out here. I'm not really sure which one is more accurate. Hopefully we can find at least one spring. It's also around 95 degrees outside, and this swamp is no joke with humidity. The heat out here is insane. I almost feel like I'm walking in a bubble, but these woods are super dense. I still have a ways to go. I've been hiking for about 45 minutes now through these woods, but hopefully we should be getting there pretty soon. Wow, look at this tree that fell over, probably in the hurricane that hit last year. The root system is huge. That looks like bear poop. Actually, I think that is bear poop. But the woods that we're in today, they're known to have a lot of black bears, so I have to be a little bit more cautious today. I'm trying to be loud and I'm trying to make my voice heard, and I want them to know that I'm here. I guess I could have picked a different color scheme than all black. I didn't even think about it. I'm wearing black shoes, black hat, black shirt, black pants, and I have a black book bag. How do I want to go around this? Let's go this way. Look at this deer jaw I just found. There's some more bones right here, a couple of leg bones. My guess would be a black bear, but who knows? We have finally found water, and I'm not really sure which way it's flowing. So it looks like it starts right here. No, there's all kinds of different paths. Maybe this is just rainwater from a big storm we had the other day. Let's keep going this way. I think I need to go back further this way. Okay, I'm supposedly pretty close to our first spring, but I don't see anything that tells me that we're there. Oh wait, I think I see it. Hold on, let's go this way. I think this is it. This is our first spring. This isn't the main spring we're going to. There's so many spider webs, and I'm trying to go around them so I don't mess up their home. We're gonna go this way, and we're gonna walk to the other side of the spring so you can get a better view of it. Let's go through here. You can see this pool is right here, and it looks like the spring vent is just right there and creates this crystal clear water. Doesn't really look like it, but that's pretty clear water, and it creates this stream and it flows out into a nearby creek. Well, that was pretty cool, and I say we go find the others, since we know that there's more than one, because this is not the main spring. So I'm going off of my other map that tells me that there's 5 springs just in this area right here. So we got one right there. Let me get my map out and see how far away we are from the second one. It says we're about 165 feet away from our second spring. This is the water from the first spring coming out here, creating this run. It looks like it goes that way. I will say that these are definitely not the easiest springs I've ever been to before. But that's what makes it fun, for me at least. I like coming out here in nature and finding them on my own. Okay, found the second spring. Or at least I think I found it. The water is flowing that way, which means the spring is either over here or just over here. I'm not really sure. Let's walk across this log. All right, we made it to the second spring. It's just under this log, but you can see the clear water right here. This one was a little bit harder to find. My map kind of led me in the wrong direction, so I had to backtrack and go through all of this mess. Oh, I almost just fell in. You almost just went with me for the ride. But here's the spring run right here. And this is going all the way out to the main creek. That is a Florida cottonmouth. I can tell by the pattern on the back. I can tell by the shape of the head. A bite from that is a trip to the hospital. And if I don't get it treated, that would be really bad news for me. So I'm going to be real careful about how I go about this. I mean, I was about to walk right there. What a beautiful snake though. You shouldn't fear these snakes. They're not aggressive. They're not gonna charge at you. He just looked at me for a couple of minutes and then decided to go on its way. There it goes right there. Now I got a walking stick just to be safe. Don't know if this would do much in case I come up on another cottonmouth. I really need to watch where I step now. And just to clarify, this stick isn't to hit or kill a snake if I saw one. It's just to move things out of the way, so I have somewhat of a better view of where I'm walking and what I'm stepping onto. I think I see our third spring just back here. Gosh, I'm real paranoid about where I'm stepping now. This is hollow underneath. There could be a snake down there. And I don't know if you can tell, but I don't have crazy hiking equipment. I'm literally out here in my running shoes right now. There's so many down trees and stumps and roots, probably from the hurricane last year, like that other tree we saw earlier. And that's just the perfect place for snakes to hide. I think we're at our next spring. Let me see if I can go around this way. This is the spring run right here for the main spring that we haven't gone to yet. It's flowing this way out towards the creek. And I thought this pool of water would be our next spring, but there's no way. It would create a flow, it would create a spring run just like this one. But I see another spring run right there. It's got a little waterfall going and it meets the main spring run over here. So I think our next spring is actually back this way a little bit further. So we're gonna go that way, see what we can find. This might be the smallest spring I've ever seen in my life. I think it's just right over here. Look at these mushrooms. They're like blue or purple. If any of you know anything about mushrooms, drop a comment and let us know what that is, because I'm not the best with mushrooms, but I've never seen a blue one like that before. That's pretty cool. The spring is coming right here from under this palm tree. Let me move this palm leaf out of the way so you can get a better view of it. Look at this. That's where the water is coming from right there. It's just bubbling out of the ground. It's created its own run. And this has probably been flowing for thousands and thousands of years, just like this. All right, we have 2 more springs to get to. We have our 4th one, and then we have the main one that I'm saving for last. I say let's keep going. I can see the creek over here, and apparently the spring is in the creek or on the bank or right next to it or something. I don't know if I necessarily want to get into the creek though, since it's alligator mating season right now. And for those wondering, that's April to June. I would just avoid any kind of sketchy water in general, but especially in the summertime. So my map coordinates tells me that we're right on it, but I don't necessarily want to count it if I can't see it. And to me, this just looks like a creek with tannin water. I'm not doubting that there's a spring here. I just can't see the water flowing or the boil, unless it's right here, but I don't think this is it either. I am, however, going to take a break out here by the creek before we go to our last spring. It's a nice spot to rest, and the heat is no joke, and I haven't had any water since I got out here. Okay, so we couldn't find the fourth spring. I have high hopes for the main spring. I have a feeling that we're gonna find it, and it's back here somewhere. And like I said, there probably was a spring in that creek, but I'm not getting in the creek, especially being by myself out here. And like I said, the fact that it's alligator mating season, I'm getting eaten alive by yellow flies and fire ants, and it's really hot. And if it looks good and not too sketchy, I'm gonna try and swim in our last spring. My coordinates told me that I was only about 100 feet away from the last spring. And sure enough, it was pretty accurate. It's right here. Wow, it's huge. Oh, and there's fish in there. Oh, I'm definitely swimming in here. Let's walk around this way. It's crazy to me that this spring is just in the middle of a swamp, surrounded by cottonmouths and black bears. And it's just this crystal clear oasis out here. I'm so happy that we're here. And I really can't wait to get into this water. And fun surprise, I brought some of my underwater cameras. So I'm gonna get my gear ready and I'm gonna hop in and show you what's underneath. That was one of the coolest springs I've ever been to. And like I said earlier, definitely the most remote spring I've ever been to. But this is what I like doing. I like coming out here in the middle of nature and finding my way around, finding these hidden springs and exploring wild Florida. But I feel refreshed, and it felt great swimming in that cold, natural spring water. Whew, I finally made it to the edge of the woods. And I have a few more miles until I reach my car. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm glad that you could join me today and experience those 4 springs. But thanks again so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.